Hey there, Saber friends. SpaceWindu here. Wanted to show you an update on my Qui Gon prototype. This lightsaber is from the Saber Concepts Vader's Vault run, but not the actual run. This is from the sort of the like the pre-run. They were trying to get the dimensions perfect on the Qui Gon for the Vader's Vault run, and they got the deep grooves here on this lightsaber as well. So this is Wade from Saber Concept made 2 prototypes, and he kept one and he sold me one with the Crystal Focus version 5. This is a couple years back, so I've since replaced the Crystal Focus version 5 with a CFLS, so that's Crystal Focus LS, and that works with a string blade. So basically all the components for the LEDs are in the string blade. Now what happened was I wanted to use the crystal focus that was in this lightsaber, the LS, in another lightsaber. So I had removed it a few months back and used it in another lightsaber, and I just kind of waited until I could get another crystal focus LS, and my friend in Japan, Naoki, sent me a crystal focus LS that I put in my saber. So I put another CFLS back in this lightsaber, and one of the things I did differently this time, even though it's a deep groove lightsaber, as you can tell, there's not that much room in here for electronics and stuff like that, but I've done the install on this lightsaber a few times, and once to reinstall a Crystal Focus version 5. Then I took that out and installed the Crystal Focus LS system maybe about a year ago. You could check for that video on my channel if you want to see how that came out originally. And then, like I said, just recently I got a Crystal Focus LS from my friend to replace the one I took out of here a couple months back. And I did a couple things differently. So one thing I did was reset the mechanical button. So this isn't glued on or anything. This is actually mechanically set in with a metal box underneath that activates the main activation. On the back here,
I shall do what I must, everyone.
Have the auxiliary button and the recharge port. The cover tech wheel was always there. I added the recharge port on the first rebuild of this saber, and when it had the CF5, and then kept it, when I installed the LS, and I still have it there now. One thing I added on this lightsaber that is different is a R.I.C.E port. At the bottom, I remembered there was a little bit of space right above where the speaker can go. So, I mean, you're really hurting for space in here, but there was a little bit of space there that I tucked away a R.I.C.E port. So it's a full R.I.C.E port, it's not a connector or anything. So that's pretty cool. When you have an LS, you can adjust all the blade stuff through the R.I.C.E and get different blade effects like flicker, pulse, shimmer, and even like blaster bolt stuff you can adjust with the R.I.C.E. You can adjust so many things in the R.I.C.E. The power of the blade, the drive, the power of the flash on clash. Okay, because all those things are like really necessary when you're dealing with the Crystal Focus LS or any string blade. You need to be able to control the different power levels because you're using the 7.4, well, at least with this lightsaber here, I'm using the 7.4 battery setup. So this is a pack made by Revan Reborn on the FX Saber forum. So thanks DJ. Last time he was over, had him hook me up with a new pack because I knew when I was planning on reinstalling into this, and we'd like to keep busy when he comes over with saber projects and stuff like that. So while I was working on a string blade or something like that, DJ built the pack that went into this with really nice batteries and a PCB by the custom saber shop. So he put that all together for me, and that is in the saber. So we have a new battery pack. I have the rice port at the bottom, the 1.5 watt speaker. You can't fit the 2 watt, it's too thick. The 2 watt bass speaker does not fit on this prototype model. I think it is in the Vader's Vault Run, if I'm not mistaken, has the 2 watt. So I think the Run Saber made room for the 2 watt, but the prototype, both of the prototypes I don't think will be able to fit 2 watt speaker down here. So one of the things I've been wanting to try out lately with a saber, preferably a saber with more room, but I figured since I was working on this, I would try it because I remember there was a little bit of room up in the neck here. When I converted this to LS, you have no heat sink anymore. You have a bunch of wires coming down from the DIN plug, but then there's a little bit of space here where there was formerly nothing. So maybe a little space about the stack of a few dimes, maybe 10 dimes stacked up. So I thought that was a perfect space for the 2 watt 20 millimeter speaker that the custom saber shop sells. So what I did was I hooked that up to have this saber be a dual speaker saber. So this has 2 speakers. One is in the neck here, and the other 1.5 watt premium speaker is in the pommel. So let me hook up the blade. As you can see, there's a DIN plug. There's no LED. That's because, like I said earlier, this is a string blade. The Plecter Labs card, the CFLS. So I gotta align the DIN plug here. This is a brand new blade. This has 106 green LEDs, and what they're a 360 degree viewing angle. They 2 lumen rating each. There's also a strip of 74 3mm red LEDs. Okay, the green LEDs are 5mm. The red LEDs are for flash on clash. What that does, that gives us a yellow flash on clash, because red mixed with green in the RGB world gives you yellow. Okay, so the cool thing that I like about string blades, if you don't already know, is how they go up and down. If you make a segmented component blade like this one here, okay, the font that we're playing with right now is Mad Cow's Shoto. So I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell on the video with the 2 speakers. You know, it's louder for me. I had the Saber, like I said, a couple times before with just 1 speaker for years, and now with 2 speakers, I feel like it's a more of a well-rounded sound. Shoto's a good font to test out the sound because it's got a really buzzy hum.
I've encountered divergence in the Force. It's urgent that we make contact with the Republic.
One thing I noticed with the 2 speakers, Although with any sounds on the Saber, it's not distorted at all. It seems like the beep on some of the sound fonts sounds weird with two speakers, like maybe there's some kind of feedback on the beep or something. Now the speakers are wired in parallel. I got that idea from Jango Fett on the FX Saber forums. He had a post about how he wired one of his Darth Maul sabers with two speakers off of one crystal focus board. So I took that to this lightsaber.
The Force will guide us.
I saw your laser sword. Only Jedis carry that kind of weapon.
So I'll show you the red LEDs. They come in for the flash on clash. Now that's possible because on this lightsaber I have a PEX, a power extender board. You know, maybe on the next iteration of the crystal focus LS you won't need a PEX. Maybe it'll be on board. Right now you have to add a PEX. Okay, so you can see on the blaster block, which is one tap of the auxiliary button, a segment of the blade will disappear for a second, and the entire blade will flash yellow. So you could set that however you want. You don't have to have it disappear. You could set it to random. I have it on random. You can set it to be configured 1 through 7. Anything's possible through the SD card on this Plecter Labs board. It's pretty sweet.
I've encountered divergence in the Force. The Force will guide us. We're ambassadors for the Supreme Chancellor. Promise me you will train the boy.
I'm not sure what font this is, but this is a good one to hear. Maybe you'll be able to hear the influence of the second speaker, which is a small speaker. Now there's no real way for that sound to escape other than through the recharge port and also through the Saber Concepts grate here on the pommel, which the other speakers right there, the first speakers right there, and the second speaker's up in the neck, facing down right above the recharge port. So some of it's coming out the recharge port, some of it is probably reaching down through the channel. There's a channel here, but there's battery and wires stuffed into those channels, so there's not too much resonance in this particular hilt. So I'm going to keep trying the dual speaker setup, like in my future build, see what happens. This one is pretty awesome. Like I mentioned, the blade is a new group of LEDs that I tried. So I'm just going to compare that to an older green that I made, 45-degree viewing angle on this. Now I don't know if you're going to be able to tell on camera. To my eye, this is cool, but this one is better. See if it shows up on camera. The one at the bottom here, the Qui Gon, is smoother, more even, brighter, and now to be fair, the one on the top here has a different blade tube. It has still a custom Saber Shop blade tube, just like I got for the bottom one, but the top one is a clear blade tube with a nylon diffuser and a foam diffuser underneath the nylon. The blade on the bottom has a trans white tube, no nylon diffuser, and still the same foam as the top one, but like I said, no nylon diffuser, just a wider looking blade. But even still, I think the one on the bottom, the newer LEDs are beating out the green on the top. you know, there's other factors such as the wiring and stuff like that, which I've gotten better at it. I have better wire and harder to detect any shadows and stuff like that in my newer blade here. We could call it like the version 2 series, which I've had a couple of. Like all my blues recently and the photons and stuff like that have been this new scheme. The one on the top here is, although, like I said, although it's really cool, I'm really impressed with these newer LEDs just for green. You know, every color's different. You have to test. You have to figure out what's gonna work the best for the color that you want. I've got the blues figured out. I seem to have the greens figured out. Now the whites, even the reds. You know, purple, there's not really much choice. There's just really one choice. I have to modify the LEDs. It's for the main colors, for the main Star Wars colors, you have a lot of choices. For green, I could have gone with a photon blade for this Qui-Gon, but I thought I'd try these standard green, like a Luke Skywalker style green, Qui-Gon true green for this Qui-Gon.
I've encountered divergence in the Force. We're ambassadors for the Supreme Chancellor. Almost got us killed. There's something about this boy. Remember, concentrate on the moment. You've been a good apprentice, Obi-Wan. It's urgent that we make contact with the Republic. The Force will guide. We're ambassadors. Almost. You've been a good apprentice, Obi-Wan. You've been a good apprentice, Obi-Wan. And you're a much wiser man than I am. I foresee you will become a great Jedi Knight.
Mad Cow's Fates font.
I've encountered divergence in the Force. Remember, concentrate on the moment. You've been a good apprentice, Obi-Wan. It's urgent that the Force will guide us.
I saw your laser sword. Only Jedis carry that kind of weapon.